team ban. Radiant team
Hello, good
ban.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SKA YPC SKADII. This is some of the last few remaining matches, and probably the last
Dire
for
team ban.
Kacang Gaming, as well as Team MiDorFeed. Quite the popular choice in the games in this tournament is most teams, whenever they get the first pick in the coin toss, they're gonna go with the second choice or either the last remaining choice.
10 seconds
And this
remaining.
will allow them
Radiant
to
team
pick
pick.
the last hero and most likely be able to pick the last counter.
Dire team pick.
Jakiro has always been a popular pick as well for many teams. It's quite an easy to use hero, and well, not to say that easy, it's probably a little bit difficult to land the Ice Path, but once it lands, it's able to usually connect onto 2 or 3 heroes, able to control quite a good and decent amount of the battlefield together with its damage over time. And here we see a response pick, the Shadow Shaman from Kacang Gaming, one of the better pushing heroes. Once you drop the ultimate with the Serpent Wards, you can just basically have a very nice and safe push. And the Juggernaut, straight away picking up one of Awing's comfort heroes in terms of playing carry. It's a very early review core carry and probably one of the uh, safer picks to pick because they want to secure the Juggernaut before the other team would decide to go for. And here they responded with a offlane Clockwork, and now they will proceed into the ban phase. The good thing about Clockwork is its ability to just jump right off the screen into the enemy, and his main job is to isolate and to create space during the team fight. So at the same time, it can help to isolate an enemy hero where they can just pick him up safely, or at the same time cause a lot of disarray in the team fight and force the enemies to just move around the cogs.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
MiDorFeed chooses to ban the sniper, one of an annoying hero to deal with. Probably not something that Kacang Gaming will go for as a mid. Especially when you're up against a Clockwork. Clockwork will easily find that sniper and just make short work of it. Kacang Gaming also bans out the Marcy. Marcy has been quite a terrifying hero to deal with, even as a support, not really needing that many items. Marcy can help to disjoint, displace, and even help to stun or even provide a lot of damage and heal to the support carry.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
And they choose to ban out the Timbersaw, and now we're gonna go with the next pick for Kacang Gaming.
Radiant team pick.
They decide to go with the Vengeful Spirit. That is the last remaining support. Very good abilities, able to either initiate with the swap or either to save a core to prevent or actually to allow your core to get into a better positioning after losing its initial position. Its real purpose is to displace heroes and pretty much end up dying after that, but even the illusion itself can be quite useful after a while, should the hero decide to just stay in place.
Radiant team pick.
And MiDorFeed decides to go with the Razor. Razor is a very good laner, especially against carries. If he plays the off lane or even in the mid lane, Razor is usually the one dominating the farm, because he will just naturally chase the enemy hero out of the lane with its chain link,
5 seconds
the static
remaining.
link. Losing out on all the damage and transferring it over to Razor will just make his right clicks a little bit more painful, whereas the enemy hero would have diminishing damage in right clicks.
Dire team pick.
Void incarnate.
And MiDorFeed decides to go with the Void Spirit. This is an interesting mid laner. Very, very bursty kind of magic damage that can come out from the Void Spirit. If Juggernaut is not careful
10
enough,
seconds
especially with
remaining.
the sudden silence, it may just turn the fight around.
5 seconds remaining.
Void Spirit usually makes short work of the supports. And here, Kacang Gaming decides to go with the Puck. Very, very good Puck players are very, very interesting and also amusing to watch. Especially such an elusive hero in the hands of a good player can become really, really hard to catch and can put a lot of pressure around the map, as well as extremely purposeful in team fights. With the Dream Coil, it just keeps a lot of the players in place. So what they really need to follow up with Puck is somebody that has a good amount of AoE control, AoE damage. Most likely maybe the
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
can go with the Tidehunter at least. I was gonna think of Jakiro, but Jakiro is already on the other side. Yeah, basically you need a hero that deals a lot of damage over time in a particular area. Maybe less rock though.
10 seconds remaining.
It can be quite useful. Yeah, less rock really just
5
wants people to stay in place or
seconds
stay beside him while he unleashes his ultimate, the Pulse Nova. Really deals a lot of AoE damage. So the Puck here can be basically an offlaner, and also can play mid. So it offers a bit of versatility to Kacang Gaming should they choose to play either a mid Puck. But against the Void Spirit, it might be a little bit difficult. But then again, it all comes down to the mid heroes' skills and abilities to play their heroes properly.
Remaining.
MiDorFeed has yet to reveal their carry, so Kacang Gaming has decided to ban out the Ursa. It might has the potential to actually snowball if the Ursa gets out of control, especially with their lineup, the Void Spirit and the Razor, as well as the Clockwork. It can get out of control very, very quickly with this snowball. So Kacang Gaming is probably thinking of banning out a very, very potential hard carry. We really haven't seen anything like Terrorblade, but they decide to go and ban out the Lifestealer. Lifestealer is a good choice as a ban because it has the potential to jump into Clockwork or even the Void Spirit and just be able to get in up and close and latch onto their target. But instead they went with the Bristleback. This might mean that they could have a carry Razor or even run the Bristleback as a carry. This is a very much a mid-game lineup that MiDorFeed is trying to run.
10 seconds
And they're looking to take over the game within 15 to 20 minutes.
5 seconds remaining.
For Kacang Gaming, they might face a bit of a problem here because they don't really have that much damage to take down the Bristleback in time or as much. And it could get out of control because the Vengeful Spirit doesn't really fare that well against a Bristleback. Neither does the Shadow Shaman. unless they can control him really well. But at the same time, if you're controlling a bristleback, then you're letting the Void Spirit, you're letting the Razor go to town on your heroes.
Choose your
And Kacang Gaming, this might just be the perfect counter for bristleback, especially with the Nether Toxin and the second skill of Viper can just break the bristleback's back and making him from a porcupine becoming a squishy tofu. And here we see a Wing on the puck. Usually a Wing plays the carry, and we might just be able to see a carry puck, possibly. Janinja is usually plays mid, or they just might be swapping their roles, and Janinja is just going to be carry anyway, and puck will be the one. I mean, a Wing is going to be the one that's playing mid. Okay, we are underway, and Void Spirit will be played by Sweet and Salty. Okay, that's their mid player Void, and Awing on the puck. Okay, to start it off, we have Dreamers on the side of MiDorFeed playing the Razor.
prepare for battle.
Veilicious is playing the support Jakiro, and then we have playing on the bristleback is Duckling. For the off lane, Clockwork will be played by Squall GR. And last but not least is your Sweet and Salty will be playing on the mid Void Spirit. On the other side of the map, we have for Kacang Gaming is Ninja. He is playing the carry Juggernaut. And Raja Sate playing the support Shadow Shaman. Toyadoya on the offlane Viper. Cat and Dog playing the support, helping out Toyadoya. And he will be on the Vengeful Spirit. Last but not least, we have Awing on the mid lane puck.
30 seconds to battle.
And here they've already dropped a mid ward very early in the game. And 4 heroes are from MiDorFeed are already posturing themselves to take the top river rune. There will be no contest on either side, and yep, Awing is just gonna wait in the tree line, probably to spot out any of the
battle begins.
heroes from MiDorFeed to just run over to the ruins. No contest from either side, and they're all gonna play it safely, with 80 gold going to both teams from the bounty rune. Awing delivering a very nice block. Sweet and Salty is just doing just fine as well, but he might just lose out the block war, and it pretty much gives Awing a little bit more advantage, but Sweet and Salty is just gonna mess that up a little bit. On the top lane, it's gonna be, oh, there goes an early observer ward. And Squall GR is taking a lot of damage as well. He's already using the battery assault. Not gonna do much. Not yet. So 2 melee heroes from the side of MiDorFeed up against Janinja and Raja Sate. If they're not too careful, easy shackle onto one, and Janinja will start spinning away. Oh my goodness, all these crews are just getting stuck onto him. No magic stick yet on the side of Kacang Gaming, especially when dealing with the bristleback. There should be one on the way, not yet. Instead, Wraith Ban is just coming from the courier. Dreamer's taking a lot of punishment from Toyadoya, but Toyadoya has already expended half of his mana in order to use the poison attack. And here we see Janinja already going onto the Bristleback. Bristleback has already used the Fairy Fire, trying to stay alive as much as possible. The Creo Spray, is it enough? He got Creep Block, and that will allow Janinja to just right-click him down. Moss, the Squall GR, managed to use the Cogs and try to keep Janinja in place. I believe the Battery Assault has run out, and just one more hit. Not enough for Squall GR to take the revenge kill. after noticing his teammate Duckling has died and now is back to the lane fresh and ready to go. Magic Stick already being queued up in Janinja's inventory, and he will receive it in about 1 minute after the courier has landed. So first blood going in the way of Kacang Gaming. Every time it starts off with a little disable and then finishes with a nice blade spin from the Juggernaut. Mid lane, Sweet and Salty, using the Magic Stick, and that will bring him to a little bit of safety, but if he's not careful, oh, misses the Remnant, not able to get Puck into the tower range, and they will just exchange blows after that. On the bottom lane, Cat and Dog is already level 3, Vialicious is just level 2. And we see the top of the net worth is Janinja on the Juggernaut. Now he's being harassed with the Battery Assault, but as I said, that Janinja is going into his Blade Fury spin and he not able to secure the kill onto Squall, GR, and Rajasate might just be pushing himself a little bit too far despite not having any mana. 4 Crew Spray stacks already on Janinja, he has to back away a bit. And now that he has used the magic one, he will pop and get back some health from the healing salve. Bizarback now topping the net worth after getting quite a number of good last hits and forcing Janinja out of the lane. But now he is without any regen items. He's trying to go for the Ring of Health, but that will be about 2 more creeps and he missed that last hit. Hopefully he will be able to get this last one, but it will put him in a bit of danger. Good thing that Squall is over there to assist him. Static Link onto Toyodoya. Not gonna last for 2 seconds. And that will allow him to just get 13 attack damage. To not much avail. Both heroes at top lane are looking pretty healthy, just a little bit of mana shortage for the Bristleback. And here he's gonna try to reserve the stacking of Crew Sprays now that Janinja has already picked up a magic wand.
Middle is missing.
They start off with a Shackle onto Squall GR, not gonna follow up with any Blade Spin, just gonna poke. Puck is slightly winning the lane against Sweet and Salty. But they're very close neck and neck. Both teams throwing out harassments here and there, but they're not really trying to dive or commit. Instead, they're just gonna focus on getting as much farm as possible. And we see mid lane, both heroes have already hit level 6. This might be a potential to kill, and yes, he has actually popped. Oh, but the Fairy Fire allows him to just live for a second, and Elwing, he will not be successful on getting the kill on Sweet and Salty. That was very, very close.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But it will force Sweet and Salty to back away from the lane, and now the tower is being pressured. Puck is going to look for the rune, but instead he decides to go for the top bounty rune. That will be a little bit far off. On the bottom lane, however, Toyodoya pushing himself forward. It seems that Vialicious is going to be in trouble. He's going to be slowly trickling down, and that damage will be enough to finish him off. Toyodoya might be next if he's not too careful, but he's being slowed down. Razor Dreamers. He cannot close the gap, and Toyoda is thinking of making a comeback from that, but instead, Dreamers will just decide to bail out as he is not able to avenge his former teammate. I mean, the former hero. And the top lane, however, Skull GR has managed to isolate Raja Sate and delete him with his battery assault. Viper going with the 1 and 3. So 3 points into the first. Uh-oh. Getting stunned. The Ice Path beautifully connecting on the 2, stopping the advances of Cat and Dog and Toyodoya. Now, there needs to be some sort of regen for Dreamers to allow him to get back into the lane and farm. But here we see a rotation from Awing. He spots out Squall, uses the first skill, reduces him out to half life. He's gonna pop the ultimate of Puck. The spin is enough to finish off Squall, and now he will have to deal with Bristleback, but a response coming out from Sweet and Salty. Gonna try to turn this around. We see the healing ward already coming out, and a nice hex stopping Sweet and Salty from finishing off the healing ward, and that will be able to allow them to just get out scot-free. But the Bristleback somehow manages to survive. It's just so hard to take him down, especially with the Crew Spray and the Bristleback. Toyodoya is thinking about going for the Dragonlance. That will allow him to get more range, and hopefully he'll be able to stack up the poison attack. He is saving up on the Nether Toxin, hopefully for Bristleback later on, but Violicious decides to go from the back and he's in no man's position. Totally in a very, very bad position to be taking on 2 heroes from the back when there's barely any help from Dreamers, or they're not in a good position to take the fight at all. And very much it does a free kill going to the way of Toyodoya. We see a scuffle in mid lane as they try to go for the Yurun, and Sweet and Salty is going to be successful in nagging that. At the top lane, they're going to try and hold down the Bristleback as much as they can. However, it will just end up in wasting their mana, as Bristleback is going to be just fine. He has now picked up the infused raindrops. Oh, however, his back is now facing the Juggernaut, and this is gonna be quite a problem. And the Omni Slash would be able to just finish off the job onto Duckling. A little bit too cocky over there for Duckling to try to be the boss, but he ends up being bossed around by the Juggernaut. Sweet and Salty probably doing some shopping, and he's waiting for the courier to deliver his items. On the top lane we see a round 3, but bottom lane, however, Squall managed to have a successful kill onto Toyodoya. And Awing with the Dream Core has been popped, and that caused Squall to just fall to the ground, and Dreamers will stay buried by Awing as well. Is it enough? No, it got stunned. The Ice Path is going to be totally whipped, but Sweet and Salty with the nice swift slash of the Astro Step, able to catch onto 2, nabbing himself a double kill straight onto both the Vengeful Spirit and Puck. Excellent rotation and counterplay by Awing, but Sweet and Salty is able to do a lot better than that. However, at the top lane, Duckling is just doing a lot of pushing by himself and is being ganked and outmanned by both Raja Sate and Janinja. The combo together able to hold him down. It's really, really hard to get away from such a nasty duo.
Dire's middle tower is is under attack.
Middle is missing. I amplify my impact.
Now the Squall has the hook shot. He is in a bit of trouble against Janinja. He needs to hook shot away. He decides not to. Instead, now that Rajasate is left without any disables, the Ice Path is not going to connect, but it will be able to finish the job for Duckling as he grabs the kill onto Rajasate. Janinja is just going to TP away to the jungle and he will safely farm over there. Ooh. Clockwork TPing to the top. He really wants to make some trouble. Bottom lane is going to leave the Razor behind Dreamers all by his lonesome against the quite high level Cat Dog and level 7 Toyodoya. On the mid lane, however, we see a jump in by Awang, but he's just gonna zip out to safety. And top lane, nicely done. They're gonna commit everything onto Rajasate. And he probably will take out to the DOT, but at the same time Squall will give his life away. And diving under tower, Veilicious is pretty much inside. At the same time, Vengeful Spirit will give her life at the exchange of allowing the Bristleback to fall to the hands of the ninja.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Heavy wars at top, but at the same time it's allowing Jugger to get a huge boost in the network as he will be the last man standing of those fights. Puck first item to get is the Wishblade. He will then go for the Boots of Travel.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
Double fortification coming up from MiDorFeed. He's gonna try to hook but fails to hook. Just a nice sidestep from Awang, and that would be unsuccessful. And the top lane, however, Rajasate really wants to defend this lane and decides to drop the Serpent Ward. Questionable decision. And what is... oh, okay, Duckling decides to go in. And a nice call. He's able to catch onto two. Both of them inside there, but he will give up his life. And that is very unprecedented. But the healing ward will keep them alive. Instead, Sweet and Salty will pop the Dream Coil, and we see another rotation for Dreamers. He's gonna be up against 3 heroes, however, if he decides to jump in. Even the healing ward is staying alive to just nicely heal the any advances of MiDorFeed.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Bottom lane is open. Mid lane is also defenseless. It seems like
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
MiDorFeed is spending a lot of time
Radiant's
sleeping in the
bottom
fountain.
tower is under attack.
And as a result, they will lose their second tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In exchange, they're gonna try to take the top tower, and it will fall to the hands of the twin-headed dragon. Mid lane. Thinking about jumping in. Nice taunt. Is he able to... oh, he kind of missed the Astro step there. Otherwise, there would have been a chance. Now that Puck has barely lit any mana. But decided to play safe and not go and push his luck. Let's see how the Juggernaut is doing. He has a Yasha already picked up as well as a Maelstrom on his way to complete his Manta style. The Puck is very close to completing his Boots of Travel, And the Viper having the Vanguard as well as the Dragonlance, that makes him super tanky and really hard to take down, especially with his
Dire's
corrosive
middle
skin.
tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Great teamwork, you vicious scum.
Oh, we see an engagement onto mid. Our Wing, is he gonna fall? There's a lot of DOT damage onto him, but it will end up a 2-for-1 and possibly a third from MiDorFeed. Yes, it is. The Ninja able to clean up 2 of the straggling MiDorFeed players, taking out Duckling as well as Violicious. Nice ancient stacks here, up to 3 camps, allowing the Ninja to be able to farm a little bit more, with the healing ward keeping him alive as Cat and Dog will try to take the bottom lane and just wait it out. So we saw how good the Nether Toxin is, especially the Bristleback, rendering his third skill basically useless in team fights as that. And when we always perceive the Bristleback to be a very tough hero, he just turns into a very soft and squishy tofu. Blade Mail picked up by Squall. They spot out the Puck, but they don't have the necessary items to actually take him out. In fact, if they were to go on him with the hook shot, there's really nothing to hold him in place, as he would zip out very soon. Oh, and they decide to connect the Ice Path. Wang already using the orb. The blind hook shot not able to connect onto any, and they are able to spot him up but not able to catch him at all. That is a 4-man rotation, but they will spot out Toyadoya. They're gonna go on him instead. They break the swap, gonna get him away to safety. Cat and Dog is gonna trade his life away for Squall, and there's a 1-for-1 trade now. They're gonna TP in 2 other heroes in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Realistus still staying around. Okay, the team is not gonna back away, they're just gonna reposition themselves. And the healing ward is gonna make everybody healthy again. Would MiDorFeed continue to press and push the lane, or will they just go to other lanes and farm? Because now Puck having the boost of travel allows her to just teleport to other lanes and pressure them as much as she could. So here we see a response from MiDorFeed. In fact, they're gonna bring in 3 heroes to the top.
Double damage.
Also the Wishblade picked up by the Void Spirit. Razor thinking about it, decides best not to, as Toyadoya is lurking very nearby. The Ninja completed his Manta style. They're gonna try to force the game into their hands now that they're sitting comfortably with a 6k gold lead.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As tribute.
Seems like Cat and Dog is gonna rush for the Ray Pack. That will be the first item that's gonna come out of the Vengeful Spirit after she has already finished the Tranquil Boots. For the Shadow Shaman with the Aether Lens picked up, that's gonna allow him to have a lot more range. And here we see from Kacang Gaming, they're already going into a smoke offense, and they're gonna mount into the top Radiant Jungle. It's gonna be a pincer attack, but instead here Squall has already decided to go onto Janinja, but Squall is left by all himself, and Janinja will just counter it with a spin attack from the back. We see the Azal squad already going on to wipe out and clean up the rest of the crew, and here the only ones left that is the Bristleback on Duckling. He won't be able to make it out there alive as there is enough control, there's enough breaks, and they will make short work of Duckling and his teammates.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
The only ones that haven't joined the fight is the mid hero, which is Sweet and Salty, as he watched all his teammates accumulate their graves
Radiant's
in the
top
fountain.
tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is
Beautiful
under
hook
attack.
shot by Squall, but probably not somebody you want to be too close to, especially when the Juggernaut is there. And here, Kacang Gaming is already picking out the Roshan. They're gonna head straight into the Roche Pit and try to take out the Roche as fast as possible. With the healing ward, they should be able to sustain themselves, and they should be able to get this within the next 10 seconds or less. MiDorFeed knows about this, but they have no chance to respond at all, and without a fight in the Roche Pit, the ninja will secure the Aegis as a second life for him. And here, straight they go down the mid lane. Is Team Kacang. Sweet and Salty jumping in, but easily zipping back out. The Ice Path is not gonna connect into anyone, it will just scare them away, and they will continue to push onto mid with Janinja leading the way. Ice Path again just to scare them away. And here they recognize they're not really doing a lot of work here. Instead, they'll find Duckling out, and they're gonna try to go on him, but instead that might be too dangerous, as eventually MiDorFeed will be hindering into them. But the ninja decides to stay on and is able to launch an Omni Slash to himself to safety after he has finished the job of dealing with Squall. The rest of Kacang Gaming is gonna hang out and make camp in the top Radiant jungle.
Radiant's middle tower is
They're gonna put a ward there, notice that there are many other wards, and just gonna keep themselves under the guise of the night.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Mid lane, however, Aweng already jumping with the Dream Coil, gonna catch onto one. Is Sweet and Salty gonna get out there? Yes, he is. With a nice combination, he will get back home to safety. Duckling going forward. Puck with a response. The Ice Path again, not gonna connect onto anyone. They have the vision, but they don't have
Radiant's middle tower has
the
fallen.
counters. Kacang Gaming playing very clinical here. They're taking assets after assets, and they're making most use of the map as much as they can. And here they'll take out the outposts, and their next objective will be the bottom tower. Kaya and most likely a Sage and Kaya going out for the Aweng. That's his inventory that's being queued up right now.
Radiant structures
Choya Doya is gonna be making the Gleipnir very soon. And recognizing that they cannot take the fight, MiDorFeed is deciding to just spread the map and maximize their farm,
bottom tower has fallen.
as they allow the tier 2 to go uncontested against Kacang Gaming. BKB already picked up on the Razor, but do they have the damage to follow up? That is the main question. as the Bristleback has been a little bit underwhelming, especially in the team fights, not able to dish out enough burst damage or even right clicks, as Juggernaut Ninja is really doing so much work. Ice Path to show. Nice Rocket Flare, showing a little bit of vision. Ice Path finally connecting onto 1, onto 2. And now they'll drop the Super Ones. This will allow them to safely pressure the tower. Jakiro already letting out the Macro Pyre. They're trying to finish off Janinja, and that would let away his second life. Razor has already popped his BKB, but the hook shot is missed. The swap will allow the Razor to be popped, and as a result, Razor and the Vengeful Spirit will trade lives for that. But at the same time though, Duckling is being controlled, and he will fall under the safety of the tower. Now the healing one is popped. This will bring their HP all the way back up to full, and Duckling, this might just end up being a dieback, but a very nice Ice Path able to stop the 2, but it will not be to any use, as MiDorFeed has already lost 3 of their heroes. There's really no stopping the forces of Kacang Gaming from taking down the bottom racks already, as they do not have enough heroes to mount their defense. And here Kacang Gaming gives very little care on the positioning of their heroes, as they will take bottom lane of racks very easily with a nice comfortable lead of 17,000 gold, and they will back away to the other lanes and maintain pressure elsewhere. Ninja is pretty much sitting twice as much net worth as the core Bristleback Duckling. That is very alarming. It's in fact also twice as much compared to the Razor. That is also very alarming and very worrying. With the Argonin picked up on the Void Spirit, that will allow him to have his Resonant Pulse to be able to silence, as well as to have two charges? Is that what it says? Yeah, 2 charges. This Bristleback needs to get big, and he needs to get big fast, but that's gonna be tough, especially if they cannot take down the Juggernaut, and especially the Puck, which is gonna be really hard. Squall TPing in after noticing Cat and Dog. It takes quite a while, but instead Wing responds with a jump in, but no, they're gonna try to go in onto Cat and Dog first. The Dream Coil catching into 2, they're not gonna pop anyone, but it's gonna make them stay into the Nether Toxin. That's a lot of damage coming out. In fact, they will end up wiping out both the heroes, and Puck is gonna continue the offense to catch any stragglers. Strain and Salty trying to cover their tracks, but Violicious is just way too far out from the base, and she will end up falling to the hands of Wing. So if you were to ask me, okay, what should we do if we're on team MiDorFeed? Well, I say 5 heroes get Dagon. You just need to stun your ninja with the Ice Path, and everybody go in and just Dagon him to death. That should be able to finish him off, and then your whole team back away as fast as possible. You do that about 5 times, and hopefully you will be able to climb at least 2k or reduce the goal difference by quite a bit. Okay, realistically, I think Strain and Salty is the only one that is able to push lane safely, especially with his elusive mechanics. For Bristleback, you're gonna need to mount 4 heroes with him, but he's really getting bullied by the Puck. Wing jumping in, nice. Lots of damage. But they cannot maintain the silence on him. Instead, Juggernaut will try to jump in onto the Bristleback and he will take out Duckling with a very nice Omni Slash. Taking out a core right away. Squall is trying to save his teammate, not able to. And they will be gone upon. Puck catching the Dream Coil with 2. Realicious will pop it and end up losing her life. And as well as Dreamers will end up dreaming as he will fall to the ground by our Wing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Things are looking pretty dicey for the side of MiDorFeed. And slowly but surely, it seems that Kacang Gaming is going to close in on MiDorFeed's base.
Radiant's
And
top
it's really
tower
not
is under
leaving them with many options. Our Wing has been stellar on his puck, and it's really troublesome to deal with a puck, especially when you don't have enough disables. Squall GR being chased down by the Blade Fury, and he will be caught and dead. The Ice Path able to connect onto 2, but only temporarily slowing down the offense. Duckling taking a lot of punishment from the poison attacks. Ice Path connecting nicely onto Ninja, but there's no burst damage, and the Dream Coil solo onto Sweet and Salty, and they manage to get the Shackle onto him and will finish him off. In fact, Duckling will also end up falling after being broken in the Nether Toxin area. That is a huge area, by the way. The Aether Remnant catching back Toyodoya, and the Ice Path catching onto our Wing, the silence onto him. There is no burst damage again, no follow-up. Cat and Dog swapping in Vialicious in a very bad position for her right now, and she will end up falling. The BKB already being popped by Dreamers, able to finish off the Cat and Dog, but the rest of the teammates from Kacang Gaming is able to just clean up after that. And a GG is caught by MiDorFeed. And that is pretty much game 1. A very convincing win by Kacang Gaming over MiDorFeed in the first game with a 31k gold lead. And yeah, stellar performance by our Wing on the puck as well as their Ninja on the Juggernaut. They're able to control both their lanes with good advantages leading and bringing them into the mid game and eventually seal the deal onto the bottom racks, and the top racks was just a bonus. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 10-minute break and then we'll resume after the break for game number 2 between MiDorFeed and Kacang Gaming.